Okay, hello, this is Gareth Scott, and we're going to go ahead and dive into Hottest on the Lot report. So grab a coffee and let's jump in. So, Hottest on the Lot report can be different every single time. So, you're going to want to have a pretty decent working knowledge of Google Tag Manager. There's a lot of resources out there to kind of dive your feet into. I would suggest checking out Measure School on YouTube. But if you know Google Tag Manager pretty well and ready to hop into it, let's get to it in the Hottest in the Lot report. So basically, what are we doing in the Hottest in the Lot? We're basically trying to take these VDPs and make sense of them. So let's pull up a data studio that shows exactly what we're trying to do here. Jump into Stephen Kia. Let's go find Stephen Kia. So our objective is to make it so we can see which models are the hottest on the lot. And what's cool is we can even drill down to what exact model is the hottest on the lot. So let's open this up here. Alright, cool. So right off the bat, we can clearly see the Kia Rio has been hot lately, which if we open up the timeline here, we can see if that's an anomaly or not. So, because normally Rios aren't at the top. You can see now clearly Rios was jumping that day. Or, no, we got Sorrentos now. So, you know, the Sorrento was definitely big that day. So, I don't know if we sent an email campaign over here. We got the Rios again. So, you can kind of see how this can be very, very useful. We have our hard numbers over here on the left. Down here we can, if we want to see what exact Sorrento, was it one Sorrento, was it a couple Sorrentos, we can choose Sorrento down here only, and we got 99 events. Now let's see if this is sold. We can simply click this, it'll open up another tab, and it appears that it is still on the market here, but getting a lot of action. Good price too, nice looking car. It's the hottest on the lot. So how do we make this thing? Alright, we're going to jump in and learn how. Alright, let me go back here to our tag manager, and we will pull Savage back over here. So, before we dive into the page and the data layer, let's see what's happening here. What essentially is going on is in our tag, what we're going to have, this is an example of the used. We have our category, our action, and our label. And what we want to do here is make it so that our category pulls up this data from the events. So everything's got a filter on it. So if I were to go to edit here and then go down, pick any of these data parameters, check this out. Event category, boom, view models, and that lines up with these over here. So this is going to be for multi-brand. Stephen Key is a single brand, so that's something to keep in mind too. And then these are our action and our label. So when we send a tag, we have category, action, label. So you can see the two coordinate. So let's go ahead. We got a used one already, but let's start from scratch here. Now, like I said, every case scenario is different, so I figure it'd be best just to kind of, go with you here, and if I run into trouble, see how I troubleshoot them. So the first thing I like to do is see if there's any variables we can pull. Dealer.com is awesome. Right here, dealer.com. Because what we can do is simply go into the data layer. Okay. Let me pull that up here. And, if we search body style, you'll see right here, we have this first one, and then, which is really tough to pull the way this is formatted, but I think it's down the fourth one, or maybe the third. Yeah, third. This right here, this data layer, we can get this anything in here. So those variables are stored in here, and this is just one of the ways we can do it. I'll show you another way too here. In the data layer variables, so if we were to hit new, we'd name it blah blah blah, choose data layer variable, and type in our variable here using dot notation. And I'll show you what that looks like. So let's discard those changes. So it looks pretty simple, vehicles, and it's saying the first array, and then the model. And then if we were to go and preview this, preview, refresh, go back to our page here, and refresh. Should have our Google Tag Manager debugger pop up here soon. We go to the variables, window loaded, and here we go. We got Jeep, Sport Utility as a body style, and the model. Awesome. So now we can plug those variables and use them wherever we want. Now we want this to specifically fire on new VDP, so you see we already built a used one. And this is pretty darn simple. We're just going to say new VDP. Okay, page view, some pages. And we're going to take the page URL. We're going to take a look here. And we're going to use some regex. New. Alright. Now you want to check the different pages. I've been doing this for a while, so I know that's a key parameter, like one that's not used anywhere in any other URLs. So it's safe to use for this. It will only trigger on VDPs, this string right here. So you just want to make sure it's not firing on other pages. And you can use your debugger to kind of test around too. Dealer.com is pretty simple with that. So we got our new VDP. Make a tag here. New. I'm gonna say let's check our reference here. Now, you know, like I said, every time's a little different. So this is kind of older, and we're doing a multi. But instead of making separate tags this time, because we can pull in our make, I'm gonna go ahead and see what we can do with this. Let's do new make. I can't use that special character. Can I use this now? New make model. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I'm always trying to find out more efficient ways, and I'll show you another way to do it too if you can't get too into it. So we got an event type, and we're going to do an event type. Category, new. Now, this is where I'm going to test it out here. We'll see if we can get the make grabber dealer. Oops, it's going to be two. Dealer.com, make grabber. I'm going to go to the end here. Models. So up until today, I've always made separate tags for each model, and then used, you know, separate triggers. A trigger for Jeep, a trigger for, you know, Dodge, a trigger for Kia, you know, all these different triggers. So let's see if we can condense that. So now our actions, let's see here, I believe we want the model to go here. So let's double check. Yep, we're just gonna slap our models in there. This is for the specific one. We also do one that combines them all for a total and sum, but this one we're trying to do, you know, get the individual models for this and this. So we should just be able to put our model grabber in there. Yep, there it is. Model grabber. And our label, we're going to put the URL, page URL. And you can see we got variables on variables on variables, but that makes our life so much easier if we do it right on the first time. Sometimes a little bit of a headache, but it's the name of the game. Now we want this to fire on new VDPs. Okay, we're going to save that. I'm going to preview, refresh. Okay. So let's load this now. In theory, we should have a new tag fire. Okay, here it is. And let's see what kind of parameters we got. Category, new Jeep models. Awesome. Action is the model. Awesome. And we got our label. Perfect. So now we know that data is coming in. Let's just try a different one here. So let's pick a different brand, which obviously would have a different model. Let's try a Dodge. Ah, the Dodge Journey. What a great choice. Okay, let's check it out. New Dodge models. Journey. Label. Super duper easy. Now, let's go ahead and look at a different tag manager, and I can kind of show you how it used to be set up the long way. So if you can't figure out the data layer, this is another way to go about it. So let's find out Bachman, Wellsville, CDK, so different provider. And our new model grabber. Now on this variable, you always want to use variable. This is actually going to be using a regex table. And you can clearly see this is going to be way more work because you have to get all the URLs in regex and then categorize them out, and that can be a major pain in the butt. Then we got to make individual triggers for each brand, which is a less pain in the butt, but still definitely a pain in the butt to a degree. And then on top of that, we have to make separate models. At the end of the day, this does the same thing, but way less efficient. So that's pretty much it. Now the next tag is going to be to try to get all the combine new VDPs, which is pretty darn simple here. Yeah, new all models. So let's do that. New all models. Universal Analytics. It's going to be an event. I'm going to categorize it new all models. Okay, action. I believe. Let's see here. It's going to be simply. Looks like we. This should not be event. Looks like this should be action. Action is going to be new. All models. Okay, and that's what we got right there. New all models. That's how it's going to populate into the data studio. Label, once again, simply is going to be the page URL so it can be clickable in the data studio. Okay, and trigger. Now, once again, we can just use our generic new VDP because this serves two purposes now that we're using data layer variables for dealer.com. Way easier. And our property ID there. Save. Alright, we're going to preview, refresh. Now this time we should have two tags fire. One that just adds to our general new VDP breakdown, and one that adds to our model specific. Yep, and we already checked that one. Let's go back to the summary here, check our new models. Boom, all new models, and we're gonna have the same thing for used. So awesome, that's going great. So we're gonna go ahead and submit that. Now it's previewed, publish, continue. Now inside, you're gonna have to wait a day or two to get some data to work with. It's just the nature of the beast. What you're going to pay attention to is the filters. Okay, because we switched up the category names, but basically what this is doing is saying that this only includes the models. So ours would say view Jeep models or view Ram models, because those would be the event categories that get pulled in using our variables. Hopefully you're still with me here. But basically, at the end of the day, we just want our new models. We don't want this, go ahead and definitely close out of that. We don't want our new 1000 to be inside here, because all this is going to get crushed. It's going to be totally unusable. And then it's a simple matter of, just grouping everything, and you're good to go then. So let's check out Bachman of Wellsville real quick here. I'll show you if you have multiple brands, you'll have to set it up a little differently. Let's go find Bachman, which will be at the top. Okay, I want to jump to the hottest on the lot report. And we'll edit this. And once again, you can clearly see there's a big jump in Acadia's right here. It might have been an email blast, but super awesome stuff. So what we have up here is everything is grouped to this right here is the event category, which basically allows an extra layer where we can look specifically at GMC models only, and everything will be broken down to just GMC. And that's simply just going and selecting all these, grouping them, and then putting them to this filter right here. There we go. You can see it's still a slight pain in the butt to work with. Event, we just got the dimensions as event category, which gives us our different options. And then I have it filtered because we just want to see, we don't want to see the event categories of everything pulled out of GA, because that would be a huge list and it wouldn't be functional. So we just throw another filter on that. And you can see it starts with view. And, in this case, it would be view. If we were doing this, it would start with new. So you can see how there's a little bit of variance in each one, but it all does the same thing. We would just simply change it from view to new, and then that way we can easily, select just these as the options. But this, appendix right here, whether it says view, new, or anything, is very important, so that we can segment it out here. Anyways, I'll try to go ahead and wrap this up here. I know it's a lot to handle in a little bit of time, so it just kind of gives you a general overview, and then you can sit down, do it one time with the manager, maybe twice, but then you can come back to this video and kind of refer. And if you have any ideas as to make things more efficient, or if you figured out how to parse the data layer of a new website provider, etc., please, by all means, let the manager know so we can file that somewhere, so that everyone can use that knowledge. Thanks.